This man, he got out there and he made it happen. Others did the same thing. And the person we honor next who did just that is Captain Gerry Award. I'm tempted to say some words about that because I came back from Guyana not too long ago and oh my God, but I'm not going to say anything. Someone, Miss Genevieve Prince-Klein, is going to step forward. Miss Genevieve Prince-Klein, please come forward. And she's going to tell you all about Captain Gerry Award. And as she does so, I want Captain Gerry Award to come up here, stand so you can all feast your eyes on him as she speaks about him.
Mr. Master of Ceremonies, the President of Nasano, invited guests, it is with humility that I've been given this task to present to Mr. Gerry Award a token of our appreciation from Nasano. But may I crave your indulgence at this point in time to do a synopsis why we have seen it necessary to honor Mr. Gerry Award. Gerry, as we famously call him, or Captain Award, started what was known as the New Guyana Man. The New Guyana Man in Guyana was when we all joined with our bags, leaving the city and traveling to different locations. I had a distinct privilege to being one of the trainee officers at the time, of which Gerry Award, as we used to call him then, was one of the members. And that went back to 1975. If you look at us, please look at us remembering the years that have passed, and at the same time the joys that we have within the National Service, and thinking that I'm 39 and I think he's about 38 or 40, can't be older than that. Captain Award is an ardent aviator who started his career about 33 or those years ago. Remember, he's still 39 or 40. His experience of aviation is traversing the Guyana and also within the Caribbean. Gerry knows the hinterland of Guyana, like how you will know to navigate your, what must I say, iPod or your phones. Any hour of the day, any hour of the night, Gerry was one of the pilots who knows Guyana. And with that in mind, one of the things we can think about is some of us came here and be deck boys on this big liner. Gerry remained in Guyana and is a captain of that ship. So I would like you to give a round of applause to that. He was awarded a government scholarship and studied at Emory in Miami, the Aeronautical Institute in Miami. And from then on, he achieved so many awards. He went on to open his own agency, which is Roraima, and has so many establishments of which he's executive director for. And without every great man, there has got to be a woman. And he married someone who is within that field also. I know we're not honoring a female tonight, but all the females behind these men, they're honored, even though we have not put it down in writing. So let's give a round of applause to all the women who have made these men who they are. And like Dr. Adams rightfully said, his mom, starting from that first woman. Behind every great man there is a woman. And I'll give you a joke too. The downfall of every man, there is still a woman. And I have one that I normally say, when God made Adam, the devil made Eve. And Christine Keelan, Mandy Rice Davis, and all those women who assisted in toppling different cabinets. But coming back to Captain Gerry Award, he has formed Roraima Airways. He's the executive director there along with his wife. He has different security and executive launch services. He is also appointed by the government of Barbados to be their honorary consul. And in Guyana, he's highly, highly recommended and has achieved so much. It will take so much to read his curriculum vitae, and tonight we're trying to do a very short program. So, I like that heckling, Betty. So I'm just going to give you just a little of the things that he's right now involved in. He's the director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, director of Central Housing and Planning Authority, a member of the Traffic Advisory and the Commission of Police, director of the Gaming Commission, member of the National Competitive Council chaired by the President, member of the Guyana Export Promotion Council, director of the Carnegie School of Home Economics, member of the Law and Order Commission, member of the High Level Policy Committee on Crime of Security in the Ministry of Home Affairs. He's a member of the Indigenous People Commission, My Family, director of the Privatization Board in the Ministry of Finance, chairman of the Prison Sentencing Management Board, among others. When you see his resume, you will understand why tonight we have chosen Gerry Award, who was one of the first staff trainees in the Guyana National Service, the new Guyana man. And we can really say as a pioneer, as a staff, he was a real pioneer. He had lots of opportunities that he could have done other things, but he stayed in Guyana. And he is a very successful individual. And on those grounds, I would like to present to Captain Award on behalf of the Guyana National Service and its members a token of the appreciation. And I'm very humbled to do this. Captain Award, on behalf of the Guyana National Service. Very good. On behalf of the Guyana National Service of North America, it is a privilege and an honor to present to you the token of our appreciation for your service to humanity in Guyana, to your service in the private world as well as in the business world, and to always remember your roots. That was one of the most important things when the selection was being made to honor you by. So I give you this, that you will continue to do what you're doing, and next year we have a reunion to Guyana, and we know we'll get your assistance there. Thank you very much.
I just want to say that I'm actually very, very, very honored, and you're very right. You know, I always say that my wife is, in fact, you know, she reminds me of that song of the wind beneath my wings, and actually she is really the power behind whatever happens with me in my life as I embarked on my business career. And so she is the power behind everything that happens. Dr. Adams, I want to say to you, you know, how honored I am to be standing here when you left this podium, because I saw you so many times in Guyana. I saw you in Linden when I myself was trying to invest and create employment in Linden. I saw you there so many times, and I never read your resume, But I always knew that you conducted yourself, you were such a regal gentleman. I saw people respect you, and I saw the simple way in which you carry yourself. And you're really a man that we ought to be proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, could we give him a round of applause? I'm so very proud of him. I'm also honored, and I don't want to talk too much about Dr. Igor Griffith, but I'm so honored to be standing between two men of this gigantic magnitude, because I always believe that the greatest assets of Guyana is in the diaspora. And we see it here tonight. We see it, all of you here are Guyanese of tremendous value. And I can't tell you how honored I am that when I got the call from Colonel Desmond Roberts to say to me that I was selected as one of the 3 awardees here tonight, I could not believe the passion in which he spoke about this National Service Organization that still exists, because I don't know how many of you know my own passion for National Service, and National Service did in fact change my life. I went into National Service much against the wishes of my family, who wanted me to go to Canada. I was doing my A-levels at Indian Education Trust College, and they wanted me to go to Canada, and then to be rebellious, I went into National Service. And I met Colonel Roberts for the 2nd time there in my life. And I was telling him tonight, he had no idea of the amount of the significant impact he had in my life throughout those years. But the National Service changed my life. It really, really made me the new Guyana man. It allowed me to not only live the spirit of what Guyana is all about, the diversity. I grew up in a lodge housing scheme, and it didn't matter the color of our skin, our culture, whether you're Hindu or Muslim, we all lived there as one. But when I went into National Service, there was a spirit in National Service that was unprecedented. There was a spirit about not only my fellow Guyanese, but the grand magnitude of our country. And as I got old and I became a pilot, and I started to then navigate into the heart of the Pakurama Mountains and the Mazruni and Mabaruma and the savannas in Lethem, National Service keep ringing in my head every day, and I'm so sad that there's no National Service in Guyana today. And every day and every time I speak publicly, I really say to the government of Guyana, you made such a terrible mistake in this ban the National Service. It's what the young people of Guyana needs. They need it to get them off the streets. They need them for them to start understanding what Guyana really means, to stand at attention when the national anthem is playing and be proud of it, and to say the pledge and be proud of it. And National Service did that. I also want to say to you what the mind of a man could conceive and believe he could achieve. And every day of my life since I left National Service, I believe that. And every day and every milestone that I move in my life, National Service was always there, kicking me along, telling me that if I believe it, I could achieve it. Colonel Roberts, I want to say to you, and I mentioned a little bit about him tonight. When I was I taught karate when I was in high school, and I took my class to Chumachimari. And that was the first time I met Colonel Roberts. He was better looking in those days and younger. But he was the officer in charge of the Young Brigade of National Academy. It was Young Youth Corps. It was Youth Corps. And he was the commander of that area. And the first time I met him, and he conducted himself, and I saw him here tonight, and really and truly, I'm only kidding, there's no change in the man. He was so regal and so respectful, and he really reached out to us as young people, and I remember him all the time. The day when I went into National Service and I wanted to join as a pioneer, he saw me sitting there, and he came to me and said, "What are you doing in here?" And I said, "Well, I wanted to go to be a pioneer." He said, No, you get over there and let them enroll you now as a trainee officer, trainee cadet. So I went in there, I did that training. That was amazing for me. And then National Service is the reason I'm a pilot today. I got my scholarship through the Guyana National Service. And when I became a pilot, many years I would fly with Colonel Roberts. But one night, I started going out with my fiancée at the time, and she wanted to be a pilot. But every All Year's night, she would get dressed to go to the parties. And every All Year's night, this man Roberts would call me. And he would call me I don't know why he couldn't pick a different night to have a problem. And like 2 or 3 All Year's night, the girl would get dressed in her clothes, we'd be ready to go to the All Year's night party, and he would call, and I'd have to leave her home. And this one night, I remember he called, and she said, "You know what, wherever you're going, I'm going with you." And that is when I decided to marry her. Thank you very much.
So I think Gerry really deserves. I can call him Gerry now because we already gave him the award. Oh, Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that as a member of the executive, when we sit down again, we'll be so pleased with ourselves because we made a decision to honor these gentlemen tonight.